way too big for these headphones.
Is it?
Yeah, I can feel it pushing it. It's not a problem. It's just I got a big head.
Is this going to snap our headset?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, I hope you really don't do that, George.
No, I have to do.
I have also started recording, by the way.
Yeah, I
so.
saw you press the button as soon as I said head.
How you doing, you big beautiful man?
Yes, I'm doing well.
Well as well can be.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, it's been sort of a slow winter. Not that much going on, or like stuff going on, but the weather, you know how it is.
Oh, good old Britain, mate. Yeah.
Good old Britain. It's been a rough one though. It was grey for about a month straight.
Do you think?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
We've had some nice sun these past couple of days, but
Yeah, what we've had it's been like raining in the morning, and then sunny afterwards, and it's quite nice. But I mean, not.
And by morning you mean about 4 a.m. when you wake up?
No, not that early. Yes, that early as well, but I don't wake up that early.
When do you wake up?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Still, you're on the 9 to 5 sleep schedule.
I am indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wake up screaming for your mommy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sort of hoping you'd come and tuck me into bed and read stories or something.
I can do that. Give me your keys.
God, I'm sorry that no one listens to this. Otherwise, they look so terrible on the
I hope
the
people listen to
academic
this.
member of staff members.
Yeah. Once one of us is big and famous, people will come back and listen to this stuff.
Well, you're going to be massively known for what? Porn?
Oh yeah.
OnlyFans?
Probably watching porn is going to be my big claim to fame. Yeah, most watched porn of all time. Oh, I forget about the camera.
So what is it going to be like? You're going to,
most
like
hours watched, I think.
most hours watched, but like how like YouTubers react to other YouTubers. You're
Yeah.
going to be like on OnlyFans, only reacting to only other
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah. That's actually really good.
Yeah, I bet there's
I'll
actually
do like a porn react channel. Yo, check that out.
that angle that he's hitting her at is kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, check out that guy's dick.
Well, maybe that's probably more your alley than mine. But
God,
God, I knew this episode's gonna be fucking weird.
yeah, you think so? I'm not gonna ask any weird questions this time.
I'm actually
Unless I come up with something.
well, I'm surprised, and I don't know if I would say disappointed, but I don't know. I was expecting some really weird ass questions
Yeah,
to come out of your mouth.
I might do. It comes out of me naturally.
Well, you wanted to do a mime thing or like a
Yeah. I wanted to do a bit when I thought it was just audio, but we can do it later. We can do it at the end.
we can do.
If you turn off the cameras, because it doesn't work if you can see my face.
Is it said hear with your ears? Is what you call
See
it?
with your ears.
See with your ears.
Yeah.
Yes, because you hear with your ears anyway.
You
Don't
do
you?
hear with your ears usually.
Oh God. Ah.
Yeah. So, what inspired you to? I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
Thank you.
What
for
inspired you to start up this podcast again?
Well, Mr. Boss, what inspired me to start this podcast was actually what I was. I really wanted to do some more extracurricular stuff on the side of work. I mean, when I was a student here, we had XTV or any other society stuff or like a part-time job. Whereas now, you finish work and then you got so much free time because we only do 40 hours a week sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we have all this fantastic equipment around us. It makes sense to use it to the best of our ability. And I also just wanted to like trying to improve my skill set of learning other things like audio, lighting, podcasts. I'm not going to sit and say I'm the best, but at doing it. But it's also just quite fun to learn and try to give it a go. And also just giving yourself that confidence to give something a go and try it. And get yourself out of your comfort zone because you always have that. I don't know if you get it because I know you started doing comedy, which I'll ask you about in a minute. But when you try and do something new for the first time, when you do something and you upload it to like, I don't know, social media or whatever, or people know that you're doing something on the side, you always think that people are laughing at you or taking a piss out of you, which
And
never
some
really
people
case.
probably are.
Yeah, I mean, people probably screenshot my face right now and draw like a massive cock or something. And I'm just going to stop there because
And nobody watches this anyway, so
it's completely fun.
yeah.
It's completely fun. But it's still fun on the side.
No, I was kidding.
Yeah. And yeah, because you did start doing a comedy, right?
Yeah.
So how have you found doing
Comedy Society. I've done some stand-up. Yeah, it's been super fun. I've only done it twice. I did in November and one in January. We did like a show. It's all with the society. Shout out to Finn who organizes all this stuff. He's the head of stand-up in Comedy Society. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's so nerve-wracking though. I remember the first time I did it, the whole day I was like, it was as if I was about to go do like a ski race or like or a foot race. Yeah, and like I sort of blacked out when I did it. I didn't remember anything from my actual set. other because I'd rehearsed it so well, and then afterwards I was talking to people like, what did people say? Like, did they like it? Did they laugh? Because I honestly couldn't remember anything that had happened. Which I think is a pretty common experience from other people that I've talked.
Well,
Doing stand up.
at the end of the day, you're going up there to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And
It's
your metric
terrifying,
your
though.
metric of success is determined on if people laugh or not, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, no, it's fun. I want to do more of it. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I was a bit ill, too ill to do stand up.
Can you tell me a joke off the spot?
No,
No. Have
I
you
don't
got?
do that. I'm not a monkey.
Do you have to write it down, sort of thing? Is that how
I
you
do
do
write
it?
them down. Well, I think it's like I'm not very good at just telling jokes, but when you're up there with a microphone, I have like a set that I've written, and I have like bits. I could do like a set for you right now, but the context is so weird to just do it in front of one person.
And if I don't laugh, it just looks really stupid.
Yeah, it's also it's difficult to do just like right off the spot. There's a lot of build up in your head, like mental build up.
Well, that's pretty cool that you're doing that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
The fact that you get in front of a lot of people and like an audience and
Yeah,
teach yourself how to do this sort of thing. I mean, it sort of started. I wouldn't say the comedy stuff started, but I saw you doing this sort of in front of the camera stuff and presenting stuff when we were doing XTV last year, weren't you? You know, you're doing the November interviews. I'm trying to remember like a question
Screaming.
that you asked. Oh, remember me?
I mean, editing that video was such a pain because it's like normal audio, and then it was all the way up. I had to like cut it. It took. I think I spent about like an hour for every minute of that video, and nothing happens in it.
Oh,
It's so funny.
oh,
Screaming. I wish we had joked around on that though. I
what?
know it was like serious and stuff, but I wish we had gone and asked people like, "Oh, would you rather fuck your mom or your dad?" And we were talking about it there, and I think it just would have been so funny if we had that on video.
Fuck's sake. I think
It's so serious, and it's like a nice video, but it's not that funny to watch.
I feel like it would be more funny if you ask them really quickly, so they're like really confused with what you said.
Yeah.
Like, would you have your mum and dad? Need to ask them like that.
And then we
they're
cut
like,
away.
They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then, then they answer the next time. You have to repeat it, and they answer it. Or they don't. Like, I'm not answering that sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But yeah, we had to be serious because we were doing
It's
it for
November.
like swim club, and yeah,
It was a good event though.
it was a good event.
Bloody hell, was it hot as well?
Yeah, I think we talked about this on the last episode.
How hot it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and how the camera steamed up, and we had, we had no idea what to do.
And you were so nervous about that the camera would break.
Yeah, I was kind of shitting myself a little bit because XTV's only source of making content, and then what the society revolves around is using those cameras. And I didn't really know much about what to do with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
In terms of actually using the cameras as well.
yeah,
You know, it's only actually last couple of months and doing the job I'm doing now have I learnt more about the camera stuff and actually like what the settings mean and how they change it so your exposure looks better, and how to do things like the lighting, the sound, and using the editing softwares and stuff. I think I'm actually pretty happy that I can get the opportunity to do that sort of thing, because I was saying to you earlier, we're doing some creative teaching workshops today,
yeah,
and being able to help these students and knowing that you're having like a small part in their career and giving them like a small bit of a skill set is actually so rewarding.
yeah,
And seeing that, maybe 20, 30 years time, they're going to make it big in the industry or go somewhere in video production or doing YouTube or whatever. But it always stems back from this very small part, like the small domino that they started with like a workshop or something. And it's
Yeah.
not me trying to say,
because then you get to take credit for it.
it's not, but no, not at all. I wouldn't want to take credit for it at all. It's more just knowing that you've helped someone. It's more of a feeling for me.
Yeah, it's
you
nice.
know.
And yeah, you were saying like you wish you had that when you did your film last year.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea what I was doing. I literally winged it the whole entire time. Like I brought people on set, and I don't even. Do you remember Oscar? You might. That's the face, but not the name.
Yeah.
Which
one was he?
He came on when we were doing the first dance scene. So do you remember when we were doing that?
Was he the cinematographer for that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Jack, the tall guy who was the best man for your wedding scene.
Yeah, the other one.
The other one, yeah, he turned up on the set and was talking to me about frame rate and stuff, and I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
He made us do that shot where we were sort of walking. We went into the other room where we sort of walked towards the camera a little bit that you didn't use.
No, because I had to cut it for the runtime.
Mm.
So, yeah, but I had no idea what I was doing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I sort of just winged it the whole entire time. And actually, do you know what? I look back on it, and there's a lot of things I would do differently in terms of like technical stuff, like the cameras and some of the movements and stuff that I did. Nothing wrong with the dialogue. I mean, I think there was one dialogue line I didn't like. And that was Jax. You know when start unshitting yourself.
Yeah.
I would have changed that to stop shitting yourself,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Start unshitting it. Yeah, it is a bit
It doesn't make sense.
clunky or like, yeah.
But it's that thing of I'm sure you'll get it when you look back on your old comedic routines and stuff that you'll cringe thinking, why did I think that was a good idea?
Definitely.
And
Already when I look at my delivery on the video, I'm like, yeah, why did I do it like that?
but that's nice though. It's a nice thing to be able to see that you've sort of like improved.
Yeah.
And you've developed since you tried doing it, and at that time you thought it was right. So you can't really sit there and beat yourself up too much about it.
No, that's true. Yeah, and you're sort of trying your best always. I do have a question. For some of the, because when I watched it back, I was surprised that so much of the audio was from the ADR recording.
Oh, you noticed it?
Yeah. For some, well, I think I noticed it because I was thinking about my own delivery, and when I was in that ADR thing, my delivery was so much, or was like different from when I was actually there. So I was wondering, was there like a lot of ambient noise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you record on set with the shotgun mics,
Yeah.
it does sound good, but there's a lot of spatial sound. It's a lot of like echo reverb sort of thing. So when you use the ADR, it isolates it a little bit more, and you can add like a reverb, so it doesn't sound like it's studio recorded, but it sounds more smooth and tidier.
Yeah.
Than
Because the audio was better, but I think I just was thinking about my own delivery on the lines that it was like drier.
You watched the film back?
Yeah, I've watched it several times.
Damn. Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
of course I have.
Mate, I edited it, and that was the last time I watched it.
You haven't watched it since?
Mate, I've literally. Do you know how many times I was sitting in that fucking editing suite, staring at the same fucking delivery lines over and over and over again? Do you think?
I can imagine because I've watched that swim video countless times as well, and that's so boring.
Mate, honestly, I remember my routine between finishing filming
Yeah.
and then handing in. Like the whole of April was literally wake up, go to Thornley, work on my essay for 3 hours, spend the rest of the day work on the editing, rinse, repeat, Monday to Sunday, Saturday, and then take one day off and do that over and over again. And oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I love you guys to bits, but fuck me, it was that painful.
It must have been so sick of hearing our voices too.
Should I tell you what? There was one thing that I'm pretty sure 99% of the time I saw it, I was laughing at it. You know the time when Anna, she puts your hat on and pulls it and it snaps?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's obviously, that wasn't done on purpose. That was a part of the act. That was a part of the film when he did it.
Yeah. But it was sort of an accident, I think, at the time.
That's what I mean, and I loved it because it was funny.
Such a nice natural moment, and we were laughing and stuff.
And I kept laughing every time I saw it, just hearing that snap of the thing in your head. I really, really enjoyed it, and I really want to do another film.
Yeah.
I really want to do.
So tell me about your idea, or one of your ideas.
God. There's one idea that I had of. Have you seen Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Similar to that, it's like an older guy helps a younger guy with like.
It'd be like you helping me or something like that.
Probably a bit older than me.
You're a bit older than me, or
well, I'm what, a year or 2 years older than you. 25.
Decade. You're 30, right? The silence is painful on that.
Good.
I'll admit.
Yeah. Good. It's good that you're not doing comedy at the moment. Isn't it?
No, it's good. It's good. Maybe I should quit.
Please don't quit.
No, I don't.
No, but it's more like an older guy who's sitting there and helping a younger guy through life, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from me in a personal way from my granddad. Like he sort of taught me when I was a young boy growing up, sort of thing, like the importance of manners, like how to shake someone's hand, you know.
Yeah.
Simple things like saying please and thank you, opening the door for someone, you know, simple things like that. It seems like, okay, it's common knowledge sort of thing or common sense. But not many people actually taught that. And a lot of people have told me like it's actually quite uncommon to see people, not uncommon, but not many people do it. Or like when you shake someone's hand and you get known as the guy who shakes people's hand, it's quite weird to be known for that.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, some people used to refer to me as the guy that shakes people's hand.
Interesting. But doesn't everyone shake people's hands?
Apparently not.
How's your handshake? Let me wipe my sweat off my hand.
Yeah, the sweat's on my forehead at the moment. So,
Yeah.
hi, my name is Tom. That's how I
My name's
literally.
George.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, George.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, but that's how I just introduce myself, and people will be like, "Oh, he shakes people's hands." It's like, anyway, that's a bit off tangent,
Strange,
but
yeah.
yeah, going back to like the fact that my granddad's a good role model for me in my life, sort of
Yeah.
thing, and it's watching Good Will Hunting reminds me of how like that's such a beautiful thing to have, like a younger person and like an older mentor sort of thing. So that's an idea I have, but it's obviously the thing that we're saying about executing in it and developing it more. And then you get about 4,000 ideas that come in
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time
yeah.
we're trying to develop that. Another one was a very short, simple idea. It's just about trying to have a bit more practice with making some films and stuff. It was basically like this guy, he's going for a job interview, but every time he's asked a question and talking about his skills, actually flashes back to him killing someone. Which sounds quite drastic and sound weird, but
It does sound quite weird.
say at a job interview, I ask you, how good are you? What's like something you do in
Let's
your own
role play.
time? Okay,
I'll be the interviewee. No, you be the interviewee. I'll be the interviewer.
so no, it's not about. It's more just simple things like, what do you do in your own time? And then the interviewee will say something
I'm
like, oh,
supposed to I think I'm the interviewer.
well, I'm gonna go over that. So fuck you. So the
What do
interviewee
you
would
do in
say,
your spare time?
oh my god, man, the answer that came to my head was just like,
What?
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it because I'm a member of staff at the University of Exeter. I'd like to keep my job. So
You jerk off. Is that what you're thinking about?
no, we're not talking about your habits now. We're talking about. Oh fuck
Okay,
you.
we're grown adults here.
Yeah, I guess we all do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
You probably more than others, but
Yeah, 8 to 10 times a day, like
that-
everyone else.
is that it?
Yeah.
Rookie numbers.
Oh, you do more.
It's like the what's the film? Wolf of Wall Street. Great.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
is
yeah.
it? You know, it's like how
Yeah,
many
you
times you
gotta
joke
be
off a
doing
day,
it.
and he's like, oh, I don't, or I do once a day or something.
Yeah.
It's like those are rookie numbers. You need to up those numbers, sort of
Yeah.
thing.
5 times a day. something
Yeah,
like that.
with the voice crack as well.
I'm sick. Okay, I'm sick. My throat hurts. I swear it doesn't happen normally. Yeah,
I'm a man.
my voice is actually like deep.
I'm Norwegian.
No, I do voice crack still. I'm almost 25, so I think that's something I just have to live with the rest of my life.
I hope it happens to you at like, the worst moments. Like you're going up for your best man, not best man, or maybe you do a best man speech,
I hope so.
and then you go up and you talk, and it's a massive voice crack. Hello, I'm George.
Yeah. Hello, I'm so happy. Ooh.
At least it will be memorable. You know, you've been known as the
That's
guy who
true.
had the voice
That
crack.
voice crack. I don't know if I want to be remembered for that though, and not how good my speech was.
I'm laughing because I'm just trying to picture it and how embarrassing that would be.
That would
'Cause
be very embarrassing. Yeah.
it could happen to the best of us, I'm sure.
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to play it off as like I'll start yodeling every time I voice crack now.
I mean, to be fair, like doing the comedy stuff now will actually probably help you for when you do like a speech or something for the best man stuff. Do you?
It helps a lot with like general public speaking or like speaking in groups, because once you've done it at a pub in front of like old people, it's sort of.
What?
Wouldn't it be fun if I just stopped?
What's that?
If I just stopped talking? No, once you've done told jokes for people you don't know, and then like speaking in front of 4 or 5 people in a group, it just cut it. I'm done. I'm Jesus Christ. I didn't think this would be the problem today.
I can tell you now. I think it's going to be the funniest episode.
You think?
The fact that I've got that on audio and that I'm going to keep this.
Yeah, horrible. You're gonna upload it with the video too of me looking embarrassed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I can't convince you to act in another film for me.
If it's a really, really good part and you write an excellent script and I fall in love with the character, then yes.
Challenge accepted then. Challenge accepted. Maybe I could write a film about a guy who does stand up.
You could do. Yeah. How long do you think this will be, this film?
10, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends on how much time we get to with like filming and stuff because it's easier said than done. I mean, how many shoots? We had 5 shoots? 5? No, I'd say more because you had the ADR stuff as well.
Yeah.
But we did 5 shoots in total for an 8-minute film, 9-minute film, which is actually not as long.
Yeah. But they were quite long shoots. Yeah, 8-hour shoots.
To be fair, the film would have been longer actually if I didn't have to cut as much. I had to cut quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. You did. If you do want help from me, I can help with the writing part more than the acting, because that's kind of what I do
Yeah.
for my degree and stuff.
Okay.
If that's something you're looking for.
Shake on it.
Okay. Because that's what I really like to do as well.
It's more writing.
Yeah.
As opposed
I'm
to-
not. Yeah, I don't think I'm a natural actor. In that way, I can't keep the energy up.
No, that's fair.
But sitting on my computer, going, "Oh yeah, that's some good good words coming out.
Have you got a script in mind at all at the moment, or is it just more
No.
just offering your services?
No, I've not really written any scripts or like film stuff. I'm doing like book writing or like short stories mostly now.
Mm. Okay.
But I'm open to it. I have written a script before, like a short one.
Because you were looking to do one. Was it 2 years ago, or was it the last? It was last year,
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was last year.
I think you and Anna were looking to film it, right?
No, it's just me. It was just an idea I had but I just never was able to um, figure out what it was, and then I sort of got busy with uni stuff. I think my reflection on my degree and stuff is that because writing is sort of my hobby, but because it's also become my degree, it's hard to have writing projects on the side because I'm spending all my writing energy going into the degree.
Mm. Do you have like a? Sorry, go on.
No, that was it.
I was gonna say, do you have a creative process that you get into? Like, do you know like have certain people like lock themselves away, or like they would take away their phone, or drink a lot? Well, I wouldn't say drink a lot of coffee, but go to like a coffee shop or something and just write whatever comes to mind.
Mm.
Do you have like a certain process, or is it just sit at a chair and just try?
Honestly, I've been so badly routined with it. That was a weird way to phrase that. I've had a really bad routine with writing or like working in general. Um, but I just do it when I am sort of inspired to do it. But that's not what you're supposed to do. If you want to produce a lot of works. Look
So
at
I was
my
just
camera.
making sure.
It's still there.
I feel like my arm was there or something, like in front of it. Like I was saying to you earlier, when you just overthink a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had. What you were saying.
No, I recently bought recently in January I bought like this A4 notebook, and I want to try to fill that by the end of term, just with writing. And I figured I can do about 4 pages in a day before my hands die, before I get arthritis. uh,
Well, at 24, that'd be quite impressive.
that would be very impressive. But I noticed that like at the end
It's
my
like a cramp.
yeah. It's about 1,000 words, and then my sort of plan was to do that every day, but obviously that's not happened.
Well, it's easier said than done, though, isn't it?
It's way easier said than done. I'm also so bad at keeping routines. I know you're a very routine-oriented guy.
Yeah.
My dad is too. Lots of people I know, and I've tried so many different routines, but I just never stick with them.
What do you think you have a routine and not keeping a routine?
Maybe.
Maybe
I
that
think
is
I
your
get
routine.
so once I'm start a routine, I'm like, yeah, I'm in a routine, and I wake up 2 days later, I'm like, I hate this. I want to do whatever I want.
What do you hate? What do you hate about it?
I think it's the idea that I have to do something, that I've set myself up to, that I just, yeah, literally that I have to do something, even if I don't want to.
Then why do you have to do it?
Because I've decided that I have to. Because that's the routine. Do you know what I mean?
A little bit. I think you're.
It's a weird psychological thing where I
Yeah.
feel very trapped once I am in a routine.
I think it's realizing how important a routine maybe is,
Yeah.
as opposed to saying it as I have to do this sort of thing. Because you don't have to do it, but the benefits of doing that is much more profound, I guess you could say, than not doing it. But I
Yeah.
guess it depends on what works for you, really.
Well, routines do work better for me, which is the frustrating part.
What? This doesn't make any sense.
No, I know it doesn't make any sense at all. I used to live with my friend, and he's very routine oriented, and it was just the two of us living there, and he sort of had his routine, so I kind of just got onto that, and it was like so good, with like working out and writing and stuff like that. But I think just when I'm on my own, I don't know, something happens in my brain where I don't stick to it.
Hmm.
So I'm working on it.
Good man. Good man. Well, how far away are you from finishing uni? You're August, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
I got two, what are they called, modules, and then my dissertation over the summer.
How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm excited to get out of uni, honestly. It's been sort of a long road now, because I did a year of engineering before I came to Exeter. So it's been sort of 5 years, give or take, of university, and then high school before that. I did take a gap year out, but
It was COVID, wasn't it? Gap
yeah,
year?
it was COVID. So I'm just sort of looking forward to, not always having like assignments and stuff, having like a job or something.
I'll tell you what. I think something that I've noticed in myself actually when I finished uni was I've enjoyed reading more. and getting back into reading. I think it's also that you get to choose what you read as well, as
Yeah.
opposed to being forced to read what's on the module.
Yeah,
So
it's
you-
funny you say that. Yeah, after I finished my dissertation, like the day I handed it in, last year, I just started reading, and I read like 5 books over that summer, and I was like, "This is the most amazing thing ever." As soon as I started again, now I've hardly read anything. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just the focus of your time is different, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
you're more focused towards doing your dissertation and your, well, not your dissertation, but your assignments, and making sure that your time that you spend is actually writing or whatever you're doing, sort of thing, for your assessments. Yeah. So
you definitely heard that, huh?
definitely did hear
Oh,
that. That
God.
was
Can you cut that out?
no, that was very hot, and that's staying.
Oh, you think so?
Mate, if your voice cracker's staying, and that's staying as well.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
What
Yeah.
kind of stuff are you reading?
I am reading a book called Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. So the author grew up in the US with his family, who are from Ireland, and they went through some tragedy. Like, it went pretty bad for them, and then they moved back to Ireland into a city called Limerick, which is the opposite side of Dublin. You know, can you see Ireland in terms of its geography? It's
think
like
so.
of the opposite side of Ireland, and it's sort of detailing his life
What
growing
do you
up.
mean opposite side? Oh, like on the part
Others,
pointing up toward Iceland, kind of.
not up,
Sideways.
west
Oh,
of
okay.
Dublin. But he's grown up, growing
I
up.
don't get it.
I'll show you on your phone, or like after
Okay.
this, what I mean. But he grew up with his family and grew up in like abject poverty and stuff, and was going through a terrible time. And it's a really good book. I got recommended it by someone I met when I was in Ireland, and it's a quite popular Irish memoir as well that I'd
Yeah.
never heard about. So,
I've not heard about it either.
and I'd recommend reading it. Really good read. When I mentioned earlier about like the misfortune that fell upon his family in the US, I didn't want to really spoil it, because in case you read it, you'll see actually shit that is pretty unfortunate, and
Yeah.
pretty depressing.
I might do. Yeah.
I'd honestly hope so. Really hope that you do read it, because I think there's a second book that he releases, which I'll probably read as well. I mean, he died a couple of years ago, but the book that I'm finishing now doesn't seem like it goes into his adulthood. It like finishes off when he's like a teenager,
Yeah.
which is like pretty crazy considering what he's gone through already. It's like a really good story, and quite insightful in terms of growing up in Ireland in the earlier 20th century during the Second World War, and what it was like for families and stuff. Because in the book he details how his father went over to England to work in Coventry in the not farms but the factories, to then send money all the way back home. But it also doesn't. It details his father's alcoholism and stuff, and how instead of sending money home, he'd spend the money on alcohol, and the struggles that it brought upon the family. And you can see where it sort of goes. But
Yeah.
really good read.
Nice.
Seriously good read.
I didn't know you read fiction.
So I don't think it is classed as a fiction. It's supposed to be a non-fiction, but for me,
Oh, because it's a biography.
yeah. But for me, it feels like it is a bit.
Okay.
Some parts are going to be fiction, because there's no way in hell this guy remembers what he was like at 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, 13, 14 years old. I mean, if he does, that's very impressive. But there's some parts that are probably going to be a bit misrepresented. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when you. It's
And
like
traumatized.
yeah, exactly, for the sake of a book sort of
Yeah.
thing.
You don't remember stuff that happened to you when you were 7 or 8?
I can remember some parts.
Yeah.
I can remember parts of playing with spiders in my back garden,
Nice.
being obsessed with trains and stuff, playing video games and stuff from a very young age, watching my dad playing video games and being really shit at it, and playing the game that he played and struggled at, and getting nightmares from it.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. What else do I remember?
Do you know what your earliest memory is?
Earliest memory. I can't honestly think off the top of my head, I'll be honest with you. Can you?
No. Yeah, I think so. I think I was 3, and I was in kindergarten. Or barnehage, as we call it in Norwegian.
Bar what?
Barnehage
Barnehage?
means child garden.
Barnehage?
Barnehage. Yeah, I was in the hallway, and there were, like, the sunlight was coming in sort of at an angle. You know, when you can see all the dust moving around?
Mm-hmm.
I was standing next to one of the sort of attendants, and she was showing me how if you move your hand, then the dust sort of moves as well. So I sort of kick up my leg and you would see it move. That was just it's a very nice sort of warm memory.
That's
from
quite
when I
nice.
was very young. Yeah.
Do you think you'll go back to Norway and work there?
Eventually, yeah. It is my home. I feel like it would be weird if I like had kids or anything anywhere else.
Hmm.
Or, like, yeah, it's where I want to settle down.
I know I asked you this before on the other podcast, but how does it differ compared to England?
How's it different? God, that's hard to say. A lot of it is the people, because my whole family is there. So many of my old friends, people that I've known for like 10 years now, and I think that makes a big difference. But that's sort of what you're. In terms of like roots, my whole. I mean, I have a lot of family in the U.S. as well, but I think also, just having grown up there, it's like visually, like it feels like home, the sort of parks and the neighborhoods and stuff that I recognize. Um, but practically, it's not extremely different. Things work a bit better in Norway, like infrastructure, and it's very clean and stuff. It's way colder in the winter,
Hmm.
which is okay, but not great. Mostly it's the darkness in the winter that's rough.
Yeah, they call that post-seasonal depression or something like that, isn't it? When it's
Seasonal depression.
seasonal depression. Yeah, because of how much there is a lack of sun
Next winter, I'm going to the Bahamas. I'm going to be there all winter.
all winter.
Probably not. You having fun with that piece of paper?
Yeah, piece of papers.
Honestly, I would and have done the same thing.
I'm terrible when I go to like restaurants.
Oh, wet ones.
This spin off, isn't
That
it?
voice crack doesn't seem so bad now.
When I go to West once, I sometimes play the menu and start ripping the menu apart. And before you know it, you've torn apart this whole entire shitty paper menu.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it's Weatherspoons.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. They throw them out probably after.
they probably
Just out of spite to the environment.
or they use it as toilet paper or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because of how sanitary the place is. Is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to look for. The word I'm looking for.
One time I was quite young, maybe I was like 10 or 12 or something, and I was at a restaurant in Portugal, and I had ordered a hamburger, but in Portugal a hamburger is not a hamburger. It's like just the patty on a plate.
So they give you just a burger and no like anything
no,
else.
no bun or anything. So it was just like a patty with fries, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this fucking sucks. And I was so hungry, and I'm quite a grumpy, hungry person. So the whole dinner, I was just ripping my napkin into tiny, tiny pieces and like littering them across the table. And I was like putting ketchup all over my plate, and I was just making a huge mess.
You were
And I think-
spiting these Portuguese.
Yeah, I was spiting these poor waitresses or waiters that didn't know. Yeah, I felt kind of bad when I left. I looked at her and I was like, I'm sorry. This isn't your fault, but I'm angry. And then my stepmom stole a napkin holder. That was a bus.
So is that what stole it and what?
It's like a napkin holder.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like a bus.
Oh, you said bus at the end. You said napkin holder. Then there's like a tiny pause bus. I was like, what do you mean bus?
Yeah.
But I didn't see what you mean. Did they stop her?
Little van. No, just grabbed it.
Oh.
I don't remember where it was. I don't think we can get prosecuted for that now.
Yeah.
Admitting this, but we still have it in our house.
Well, I'd be quite surprised if they try and catch up with you now.
I would be quite surprised too. 15 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, 15 years.
Well, 10, 12. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I am almost 25. It's crazy. How did you feel when you turned 25?
Like another day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Didn't do anything?
What, as in celebrate?
No, I mean, like, you didn't have, like, a crisis or anything?
What, it's like rocking backwards and forth thinking, shit, I've done
Yeah.
nothing with my life.
I'm so old.
Not really, no. Did you? When you turned 24?
24 was fine. 23, I had a bit of a crisis. For whatever reason. I was quite stressed at the time with, like, assignments and stuff, too. So I think that definitely factored in. But I suddenly felt old when I turned 23. I think when I was 22, because the numbers were the same, and then 21, you're sort of young. But 23, because the second number was bigger than the first number, that just messed me up.
You're pretty good at maths. Yeah.
Really good at math. Yeah. That's why I'm doing English.
That is why you did English. Yeah, it's quite a shame that you went through that, really. The the crisis at 23 years old.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go through, not a lot of people, but I think a lot of people overthink it when they get old and stuff, or like they have their birthdays, they feel like they need to accomplish so much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I think so too. And some people don't, like, life happens so slowly, kind of like, you can have the best years of your life in your 40s or something. Like, it's such a young person thing to be like, oh my god, my life's over because I'm old now and we're like 25.
Yeah, I've graduated from uni. I've done nothing with my life. I feel like that's. I always point it towards social media, to be honest with you, because
Mm.
I would assume our parents and grandparents never really had that feeling as much. I think maybe they had more of a midlife crisis when they got older, but that's the word is right there, midlife crisis, isn't it? It's when you get older, you sort of realise. But when you're younger and having that sort of thoughts is a bit.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit premature in a way.
I think so too.
And I think, like I was saying, I think I would really associate with social media not being
Mm.
the most healthy thing or the most
Yeah.
positive thing in terms of seeing where you're at in life.
Because
you
so
know.
many people on there are like, I'm 22 and I'm a millionaire because I did drop shipping or invested in cryptocurrency.
Where's your Lambos?
What have you done with your life? It's over. It's over, you old fuck. Can I swear on this? I've already done it.
I'm pretty sure we're talking about like porn and cock earlier. Like,
I guess you're not doing like a PG podcast.
no, well, so the hopes for me is that none of the students listen to this, otherwise I'm screwed.
Why?
I probably actually I don't think I'd really care. To be honest with you, I think some students know that I do this as well.
Yeah. Or what do you mean, students?
Like students at school, fucking hell, uni.
Yeah. Why would they mind?
Oh, you're a bit more profound. You know, your words are a bit more not as professional.
Yeah. Oh, right, because they know you as like a guy who helps them.
Yeah, as a guy.
Yeah. I forget that you work with students.
Yeah. I'm happy they're like 20th sort of thing because they're quite mature
Mm.
in a way, and you can actually have like nice conversations with them or decent conversations. You don't feel like you don't get like an awkward feeling really with them. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have like a natural like nice conversation, ask how they're doing sort of thing and what they're up to, or you can have a bit of banter, and you can sort of get away with things. It's quite nice.
Yeah. So it's just
Is your head shrinking or something?
headphones.
Have you tried making the headphones bigger?
Can you? Oh, you can. Oh my god. Okay. that
Oh
kinda
my
helps.
god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Mostly it's just the glasses that shove into my head.
You have
my
a
skull.
big head.
I do have a big head.
Yeah,
I have a lot of hair right now too.
You do. It looks nice.
Yeah. Thank you. People have mixed feelings about it.
But the who doesn't like it?
I won't name names. You know who you are. I won't do someone like that. Someone really like that. Yeah.
What have they said about it? It's too long.
Yeah. Someone said you look really funny when your hair's like that.
Take your headphones off quickly.
You said quickly.
You really are a comedian, aren't you? Look to the side. Oh, I think it really suits you.
I like it too.
I think you should keep it longer.
I just have some critics in my life.
Well, you know what they say, fuck the haters,
Fuck the haters.
all that sort of stuff, all that cringy stuff that you see.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you a question, but I forgot what it was.
I'm hoping that wasn't the question that would have been pretty inappropriate. Knowing you.
Should I rather fuck your mum or your dad?
Anyway, as I was saying. Oh man.
Yeah. Trying to mess you up with the editing.
What do you mean? You think I'm gonna
I make some sounds. Is that annoying?
No, do you think I'm gonna cut any of this out?
No, I don't think so.
Good, because I don't.
No. We had quite a long silence there, but I think it's okay.
It's okay. People you don't have to talk all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally you do because it's a podcast and it's being recorded, but you know, you get some awkward silences.
I actually brought a book I can read if I get bored.
What, on the podcast?
Yeah.
You're just gonna stop talking to me.
Yeah.
You know what? I would make that a little like YouTube short and put George Wardwell was a massive wanker. Live interruption on podcast or whatever.
Yeah. It's quite funny to do a podcast because we're just regular people. We're not like famous or celebrities or anything. All the podcasts I listen to are with like people that you know who are.
Like
Comedians and celebrities.
Oh, what comedians?
I listened to one called Here to Help.
Oh, you told me about this one before, actually.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson.
Because they offer advice, don't they? But it's like terrible advice and it's funny.
Yeah, it's good advice, but it's funny. they take a sort of mundane but annoying situation usually and sort of put a fun spin on it. This is why I like it, because they sort of add a lot of whimsy into people's boring problems.
What's an example?
Oh God. Someone, there's a couple who has a cat, and they both hated each other's cat voice that they did. They did like a weird special cat voice for them, each other. So the woman called in to be like, I don't know what to do. We hate each other's voices. And then by the end of it, they made a whole song, both of them doing their cat voices, because they were like musicians. So it turned out to be this really sort of beautiful moment they had where they got together and made this creative sort of a pretty good song. Yeah, so that's kind of an example of, like, isn't that way more fun than me? Stop doing your voice.
Yes, that is 10 times more fun. I did not expect that to take that turn. Like,
yeah, right.
To go to like a music, like an actual
Yeah,
piece of music.
so that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Would you ever do your own like show, like comedy show or anything?
Well, like, what do you mean show?
You know, like
Like a TV show?
maybe like a podcast, maybe a TV show, but a podcast.
Yeah, if I get famous, if I get famous enough to have a following who would want to listen to me speak on a podcast, then I'd definitely do that.
Would you call it like Voice Breaks with George or something?
Voice breaks.
Or Voice Cracks with George?
Oh, voice cracks. Yeah, probably I'd call it G's Queefs. Shout out to people who know what that means. It's a nickname I have. It's a
Cheese Queefs.
G Queef.
G Queef.
It's a tougher nickname.
You got to explain this.
Well, it started with G Spot, which makes sense kind of. They just started calling me G Spot. These are two of my good friends.
Why?
For fun. A bit of banter, as you
Norwegian banter. It's different to English banter.
Yeah. I think it was just fun. And then they got bored of G Spot, so they started calling me G Squirt. And then that transformed into Squirter. And then they decided that G Queef was funny. And then now I think it's Queefa. That's what they call me.
So do you know what the thing is? Between Norwegian banter and English banter, English banter is actually funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah. George,
We do speak English together too, so that's a bit rough.
Do you ever speak much Norwegian with your Norwegian friends, or do you guys just speak English?
It depends on who it is. I have a group of 3 Norwegian guys, and we speak Norwegian together, because we're all sort of from Norway. And then I have another group also from high school, and we speak English because there's some internationals. We're mostly Scandinavian though. It really just happens, like, what we started speaking together, because a lot of them I could easily speak Norwegian with, but we just spoke English when we met in international school in Norway. So it feels very unnatural to switch.
What part of Norway are you from again?
Also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's very convenient, considering I'll be here there in May.
I'm not in like Stavanger or something.
Where's that?
It's East Coast.
East Coast. No, Oslo.
No. Where are you staying?
I haven't actually booked the hotel yet. I'm just trying to get some cheap hotels.
Yeah.
There's someone there actually pretty decent, like 100 quid for 3 nights near the airport. Well, not near the airport, but near the city centre.
Yeah, don't go near the airport. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a bit silly actually, because that'd be quite expensive getting the train in.
Yeah, and it's like 40 minutes every day you have to get the train in.
Yeah, I'd rather just get to the city centre, walk around, have a good time. Yeah. Have you done any solo travel before?
Solo travel?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you could class England as going to solo travel for university, but...
Yeah. I've done some small solo traveling, but I've never gone on a trip just by myself. Like to a country that I'm not meeting someone at, sort of. Because I've flown a bunch by myself to like America and stuff, but I'm always meeting family at the end of that trip, at the end of the flight. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Have you done much of it?
No, Ireland last month was my first time doing it, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'd highly
So
recommend
what, you
it.
just went there, got a hotel, and then woke up and walked around?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, I got a hostel,
Oh, right.
but I don't know if I'd recommend it, to be honest with you. It it was cheap, right? Pretty decent price. But I think for me, because I don't do it that often, I can save up and do a hotel.
Yeah.
Like when you're staying with other people, you can't really do much in the morning. You feel a bit weird around them as well.
Yeah,
Like,
especially because you wake up so early.
Well, 6 o'clock was when I was waking up, so it wasn't massively early. Maybe early compared to you, because
Crazy early, yeah.
yeah, you're probably 12 hours later
Yeah,
when I wake up.
roughly, yeah, 6 p.m., something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, it should be asleep right now. It's my bedtime.
No, it's 20 past 6, so
Oh, okay, so I've just woken up then.
you've just woken up. You look pretty good for just waking up as well.
Yeah, thank you. That'd be crazy if you woke up at 6 p.m. What would your day be like? It's just dark.
Do you know? Oh my god, I
His name
remember.
was Tim.
No, the way. No, I still remember the first time you two met each other. It was so funny. No, I'm not joking. I still think about it.
Really?
Like
I
once
don't
in a
even
while.
remember it.
You don't remember it? We did a film quiz,
Yeah. I do
joint film
remember. I
quiz.
remember the film quiz, but
and you kept saying it wrong, like Tim or
Oh.
Tim. I remember you're like, oh, is it Dim? And he's like, yeah, that's it.
and then I call him Dim the whole time. I honestly couldn't get his name. I went home that night too and spoke to my housemate who does law, and I was like, "Yeah, Tim from law. He's from wherever the hell he was from,
Croatia.
Croatia." And she was like, "No, there's no Tim in my class. I don't know who you're talking about." And she was like, "Yeah,
Tim. Bless him. Yeah, he was. I remember the first time I met him as well. I got his name wrong first because I didn't. I think maybe his accent is quite strong.
mm.
You don't really understand him. He was like, oh, it's Tin, and I was like, Tim. He's like,
Yeah.
no, Tin. Tim.
Well, 'cause Tin, nobody's called Tin. I've never heard that name before in my life.
So he was like,
what
oh.
is that short for?
So I was just like, oh, is it like a biscuit tin? He's like, yeah. I was like, that makes sense.
Like the metal, yeah.
Like the medal. Yeah.
That could have helped me out too.
Nah, Dim was too
Dim.
funny.
Hey, Dim. Sounds like I'm insulting him.
He does.
Yeah.
Are you Dim?
You must be Dim.
Uh,
Yeah.
You said
but I don't remember Adesh.
Adosh. No. What was I talking? Bring up Adosh.
His sleeping schedules.
Yeah, because he had a terrible sleeping schedule. Like I'm pretty sure when I was waking up, he was going to bed.
Oh yeah.
So like I was waking up at like 5 or whatever, 5:30, whatever, and he was going to bed, or I'd hear him in his room playing games or something.
Oh, wow.
About to go to bed. It was so surreal.
Yeah, that is rough. I'm not that bad, but I'm not great either. It's like a 1, usually around 1.
And then wake up at what 10?
It depends on how quickly I'm able to fall asleep. I try to aim to be in bed at 12, and then it often takes me a while, and I'll wake up like 9, 10. The problem now is I have no schedule from school, because I have a Monday class at 9:30 that's online, and then I have a Friday class at 10:30 in person. So like the whole week I'm just sort of lost,
All over the place.
wandering about. Well, I just don't. If I don't have to wake up for anything, I'm really bad at waking up, because my brain just overrides any logic and makes me go back to sleep.
Is it go back to sleep? It's quite hard, yeah, when you haven't got like a set pattern
Yeah.
to fall asleep at the same time, because your body really prefers it when you going to bed at the same time.
Because it's so comfortable. And it's like I'll go to sleep fully determined to get up, and then in the morning I'll be snoozing my alarm for like an hour, unconscious, because I'm just not even aware of the fact that it's happening.
Move your phone outside of your grip, outside
yeah,
of.
so annoying.
No, that's the point. It's supposed to be annoying because it gets up your arse. That's what I do every day. Otherwise, I'd probably snooze it. Like I do on the weekend, I sometimes snooze it.
Yeah.
But that's because it's a weekend and I can be a bit more relaxed
Yeah.
in terms of what I'm
Wake
doing.
up at 8 instead.
No, 7 or 6.
That's a late morning.
Yeah. To be fair, no, I woke up at 9:30 on Saturday, and that was quite nice. But that was because I was a bit ill. I'm just gonna rest for a little bit longer, enjoy the comfort of my bed.
The thing that gets me, the biggest trap, is that I'll wake up and then start going on my phone, start scrolling, and that just kills my whole morning. Because then I do that. I could do that for an hour, and then it's 11, and then it's like, well, what the hell am I doing then?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Thinking that you feel like you scrolled for a couple of minutes and it's actually been hours or something.
It takes, and you don't even notice. And I'm so sleepy, I'm so tired. So I don't even really, I'm not like, I haven't woken up enough yet to realize what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like, and then Instagram. Mostly, yeah. TikTok sometimes. But
TikTok as well. What are your like?
occasionally, but I'm more on the Instagram.
What does your feed usually consist of?
Just like funny videos.
Why do you have like
The
hesitation?
usual. It's just hard to describe. It's a lot of like brain rot. Sorry, that was. You heard that too, right?
What?
The voice crack. You didn't hear the voice crack.
What voice crack?
Yeah, of course you heard it.
Shit. I can't keep a straight face when I'm lying. I'm so bad,
Yeah,
honestly. Which is probably a good thing, actually. Shows
that is very good. No, yeah, like brain rot stuff, car crashes, sort of weird. Yeah,
Why car crashes?
I don't know. People send them to me more than I get them myself. But it's a thing on Instagram Reels. And yeah, you don't scroll anything.
I don't do it. I don't use it. I don't. I have technically an Instagram account when I post the podcast, and that's it. Like, I go on it, post, and then come back off it.
Yeah, I think I use Instagram for communication, which is why it's rough to delete. Because like there's stuff there that I actually do want to pay attention to.
That's when it pulls you in, doesn't it? It gets you.
And then it's like, oh, just look at a couple of videos.
And then hours later,
Yeah,
shit, I've wasted all that time.
flies by. And then once, you probably don't even feel this, but once you've started your morning with scrolling content like that, the whole day is sort of shot because your dopamine sort of, I think it's what gives you dopamine first in the morning is like what your brain looks for the rest of the day. So if you're starting, I don't know if that's accurate science. Can you pull that up? Why don't you have a guy who can pull stuff up here, by the way?
Because I've got no money. I haven't
Okay.
got a budget.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though.
What, having
If you
someone
had,
that can start,
random
like,
guy.
fact check and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, pull up that video. You even have a TV in here.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? You can actually, like, see what we look like if I connected it to the Mac outside.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't because the webcam isn't the greatest. And
Yeah.
if I want to up the quality, it basically tears through the storage on that, which
Yeah.
is weird. It's so weird and so bizarre how it does that.
Yeah, and we don't really need to look at each other either, or like ourselves
No,
when we do this.
because looking into each other's beautiful eyes, can't we?
Exactly. What was I saying? Yeah, if I start scrolling in the morning, my brain is sort of shot because the something about the brain chemistry, if this is real science. But regardless, psychologically at least, I want that the whole day. But the mornings when I just get up, then it's way easier to just do normal stuff. Let's move on.
I did. I tried so hard to keep a straight face.
It's rough. It's rough.
It is pretty rough. Sorry, man.
It's usually not this bad, I will say.
I think it's because I've called it out and we're more aware of it, and we keep talking about it and it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
It's like actually it's a weird thing when you think about stuttering and talking about stuttering, you stutter more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's weird. It's like a weird phenomenon when you do it. I don't know what the psychology is behind it, but it's something that when you're really more aware of it, you're thinking more about it, like being stuttering or being more nervous, I guess, actually,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. It's funny how that works. That like being anxious makes you more anxious. Or like
Thinking about being
makes
anxious.
you do more things that make you more anxious. Yeah.
I don't know. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense because when I was talking about that workshop earlier, there's parts of me just waiting, like think about waiting for my the other guy that was leading it to finish talking and knowing that I was going to be handed over to. But I was like that anxious thinking of, oh shit, I've now got to try and teach these students how to use this equipment,
Yeah.
and everyone's going to be looking at me, and it's a bit weird. But then actually, when you get into it, you're like, actually, it's quite fun. It's a good laugh.
Yeah. I agree.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Who's been your favorite episode? Also, why'd you change it to talking with instead of talking with Tom?
Talking with Tom just sounds weird.
You think so?
Yeah, because it's not. It sounds. To me, it just doesn't sound right. I like the idea of talking with, and then the name after that is the guest. I prefer that format, as opposed to being. It's not because it's not really about me.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the person that comes onto the episode. Although I'm the
That
host
makes
of
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
Although I'm the host of it, if it just feels more. It feels more right to me.
Yeah.
So, and also it's just a way I can sort of say I've changed to do a new podcast with cameras and stuff, as opposed to saying talking with Tom is now on cameras, isn't it?
It feels fresher.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
Nice. I listened to my episode recently. I think I texted you when I did that.
Yeah, a couple months. It was like last month, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
Christmas,
something like
I think.
Yeah, it was
Talking
around
about-
Christmas.
You talked about, oh, we need to do this again, sort of thing,
Yeah.
which is quite nice that you've messaged me about that.
Yeah. It was so funny. It was like a time capsule of the stuff I was thinking about in that moment. Because I don't know about you, but I have certain sort of running things throughout a couple weeks that sort of changes, but like things that I choose to talk about or like things I bring up. You don't have that?
No, not really.
I at least notice it in myself.
So like Monday, Tuesday, you talk more about certain memories, and then
No,
what,
no, no, no.
Thursday, Friday.
It's more like month by month basis, maybe, where like things that have happened to me recently, or like just certain topics that I've been thinking about is like the stuff that I will bring up in conversations. Does that not make sense?
Not really, no.
No. I don't know how to explain it better. Say I've been on a trip, and then the next couple of weeks I'll probably have anecdotes or like jokes about that trip that I'll bring up in conversations because we all need something to talk about.
Mm.
And then something else will happen to me or I'll be working on something else. And then, so for that next month, I'll talk about different things.
That does make sense now, yeah.
Yeah. And so for that podcast, I was like, oh, yeah, that's exactly, I remember
Doing
that's
that.
the space I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll see, look back on what I was doing now.
What about the film as well?
What film?
The film.
The one you made?
Yeah. We made. It wasn't just me.
That's true. What about it?
Do you ever think about that?
Yeah.
This was a year ago now, wasn't it? No, it wasn't a year ago now, but it was a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Been a year.
I definitely talk lots about the film when we were doing it. That would be an example of one of the things that would be something I bring up. Like, oh, I was in a film. It's also really fun to talk about later. Yeah, someone asked me if I'd ever been to the chapel on campus, and I was like, yeah, I got married there.
And what did I say?
They were like, what? Really? And I was like, no. But I was recorded. Yeah, we did a film.
Did a film.
Yeah, I also show people because I think it's funny.
Oh, good.
Or like, it's cool to be like, hey, look, I was in this.
I think that's quite nice though to say that you've acted or done something that's quite out of the ordinary. You know,
Yeah.
how many people will say they like acted in a film or made a film or whatever?
Yeah, right.
Like, you know,
It's cool too to have like stuff online of you, of yourself. Thank you.
I get what you
or
mean.
on
But
Spotify,
you
like-
made that weird.
Yeah. No, I know.
I know exactly what you mean. Until you gave me that smile, that
Yeah.
damn smile, and it made me
Yeah,
like,
smile. You can like Google your name and stuff will actually come up.
"Does your name come up?"
Yeah. But it's like my LinkedIn or something.
Yeah, same.
But if you look me up on Spotify, you can find the episode.
Huh?
So if somebody's like, I want to learn everything about George, then stuff is already out there that you can learn about.
About you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you have lots of hours of content.
Yeah, well, that's why I like doing it. 'Cause like you said, it's interesting to have and to talk about, and it's just about doing something with your time.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, I don't really don't have to be doing it all the time. Like, you know, doing a podcast every day sort of thing. You know, I try to do at least once a week, record an episode a week sort of thing, and then
Really?
upload it every Friday. Yeah, I just don't want to overdo it. You know, and
Yeah.
keeping it once a week, and then I can use the other time to do other things as well, like go out for meals with friends or something, or try and plan other video content that I've got ideas for. You know, like the BBC Live Lounge. Have you seen it? It's basically where the BBC would have like an upcoming artist or an artist that's really good or really popular at the moment. He will be.
Don't look.
Do you know what the funny thing is? You're more likely going to be cutting off the camera that I would be using for this segment anyway. Because when I talk, I try to cut. When it's someone's talking, I try to cut between the cameras. So you waving to that is actually put your hand in front of that camera. made it
Forget about this camera.
made it more. Yeah, but it's good that you forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget that it's there. What was that?
Cut away from this bit too, though. Go on you.
Cut away.
My lips were a bit dry.
I did look a bit
There's
dry.
no good way to put on lip balm. I
No.
would say.
How's that?
What?
Nicotine pouches.
Yeah, it's nice. I tried to quit again over Christmas. It didn't work.
Hard, isn't it?
It's impossible. No, it's not impossible because people do it. But I keep going back.
What does it say on the packet?
It says, this product contains nicotine, which is a highly addictive substance.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? When did you get the hit? Like the
When?
yeah, when you do it.
Pretty quick. Within a minute. And then it lasts about 20 minutes. But my tolerance is so fucked now that I barely feel it when I do it. So it's just like it's like an addiction thing.
It's so interesting the way
It's really annoying.
how the mind works, really, isn't it? Around that sort of thing, like addiction and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like of all the addiction to have, I guess that's not a bad one, is it per se?
It's not the worst for
It
sure.
could be alcohol, it could be actual cigarettes,
Yeah.
or drugs, God forbid,
Yeah.
or like things like porn or anything like that, which
Yeah.
is absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sympathy for people that fall into those habits.
Yeah. I mean, like phone addiction. I think I'm on that. Like scrolling and stuff. I feel like that's an addiction, like all this other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause it just like sucks time out of your life.
You spend too much time doing it, and you feel like you have to do it all the time, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that you want to do it. It just happens. It's like instinct, or like it's like so habit driven.
It's quite
You
horrifying,
just
isn't
sort of
it?
pull it up. Yeah, it is.
Because you realise that these companies do this on purpose,
Yeah.
knowing that they're doing it. It's evil genius, isn't it? Is what they call it.
Yeah.
When something's evil, but you got to commend it because it's clever evil.
Yeah. Well, it's like consumerism to the point where you're the product, and they're like farming you for money to sell ads to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, selling your information, your personal data and stuff. Like, isn't it what they do with Google and stuff, like for ads, that they sell your what you're watching or what you're interested in or what you scroll on
Yeah.
to the advertisers that advertise this product to you.
And you also get ads while you're scrolling, so they make money off of the ads. But you're not even selling your time because you get nothing in return for it other than the occasional laugh. So you're just like donating your time.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, but to no gain.
No.
It's a bit rough.
It is, and it's one of the things where I'm quite happy that I've gotten out of that pattern of doing it.
Yeah. I'm still working on that one. It'll be a project for when I'm 25, I think.
25, Project 25.
Or before. Oh, no, not that. Project 25.
What's that?
That's the Republican sort of right-wing project for America.
Was it like the like a
Isn't
massive?
that called Project 25?
It was like a conservative manifesto sort of thing, wasn't
Mhm.
it? I think I remember seeing it
Yeah.
and what they were talking about. Wasn't it like state control sort of thing, or I don't know what it was. No,
Yeah.
I might have got that wrong actually. But didn't they redact it? Or they
It's
went.
the opposite of state control, I think. But it's also censorship. I'm honestly so upset about what's going on over there that I don't even pay attention anymore.
Why are you upset?
Because it's so... You just have, like, the biggest losers running things. Like, so much stuff is happening there. I can't even speak on it because I've not been paying attention. Because I'm so tired of these people. I mean, I will say this on record. Elon Musk, I think, one of the biggest losers of all time.
Why?
Why? Have
Yeah.
you seen him in public, the way he acts? He's like depraved attention seeker of all time. I think buying Twitter was the worst thing that could have happened in that at that point in time. He could have just been a guy who makes rockets and cars and been fine.
You out there?
Yeah, I just had to take a breath.
Oh, we had a heart attack or something.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'll just leave the camera rolling.
No, I think he got way too much attention and he just can't handle criticism. So he responds to everything and just spreads so much misinformation on that platform that his own platform fact checks him because he's wrong. That's so stupid.
Damn. Do you know what? I don't really do the politics anymore.
No.
I get bored of it.
I've gotten bored of it
I'm
too.
not gonna lie. I wouldn't say depressed. I think that's a very extreme and hyperbolic statement to say to make. But you do feel like really like, I don't know, just angry and just upset all the time, reading it over and over again. No matter which side it is, like if it's left wing or is it right wing, it's
Yeah. Well, I think also the way we get delivered news is so ridiculous now. I downloaded like New York Times app because I want to follow the news, and they send you notifications at like 9 a.m. like missile strikes in Iran, and like I don't want to hear that in the morning.
no, it's not
But
a good way
it's
to
always-
start your day.
No, it's not at all. And it's always like the worst things possible because that's the news companies are now profit oriented instead of news oriented. So they just want to farm clicks just like all the other platforms. Yeah. So it's just whatever news sells.
Yeah, I had a friend recently who works at the BBC, and she was saying to me how it's the same sort of thing. Like when she was working at the BBC, they've actually changed to more of a click driven
Yeah.
mindset, which is crazy to think that a state funded
Yeah.
news outlet.
No, it's insane. Because that's just how it works now.
It's a shame because well, not necessarily good content, but something that's more informative and more beneficial to you might not ever reach your eyes
Yeah.
because it's not what's gonna get them the most attention, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Also, we don't need all this news every hour of every day.
Well, it's not how our brain's wired, is it?
No. Give me like a nice summary every few days or something of like what's actually happened. Not like this is happening now. We don't know why or who. Like, okay, well then let me know when you have a bit more information about it. Or give me like a reflected take, not like, "Oh my god, Trump just tweeted this." It's like, "Yeah, okay.
Who cares?
Yeah, literally who cares?" Because we give these people too much attention too. It's like when you have narcissists in power, you got to just ignore a lot of what they do. But you can't because they're in power.
Well, I think it's ignore what they say, but not what they do, because
Mm.
what they do is policy, isn't it? But what they say could just be random bullshit.
Which it is, vast majority of the time. Yeah,
So
and like
yeah,
long rants and like weird AI videos and like it's so ridiculous.
that's yeah. My YouTube is mostly my biggest. I wouldn't say addiction, but probably where I fall and spend most of my time, learning stuff or like the job I do. But most of the content I watch is either football content,
Yeah,
some football shows that are quite funny and I love watching. But it's not like going to make me angry or anything. I'm going to enjoy it and
yeah,
relatively have a good time when I watch it, as opposed to when I was doing the politics stuff. For me, I tried to do both sides, like listen to both sides, because I think that's the best way to do critical thinking. But you end up falling down the what they call echo chambers,
yeah,
and God, is it just depressing and just upsetting to look at.
yeah. Are you on Twitter at all?
No, fuck
No,
that.
good.
Fuck that. I am not touching that.
Yeah, I'm barely on it anymore because it's so painful to read. But yeah, Elon Musk will tweet something ridiculous, and then I'll read the replies because I'm like, surely somebody's calling him out, and it's just all these people going like, yeah, Elon. I'm like, who are you? Like, what? How did this happen?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think both sides do it though. I don't
Oh,
think
for
it's
sure.
just Elon. I think Elon gets it because he's in power and he's the richest man in the world. So yeah, I did. So yeah, you would see why he gets so much attention for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely just spending time on Twitter, regardless who owns it, it's just not good for your health.
No, I don't think so either.
Actually, when you think about it and put it into like words, could you imagine just being someone just like, oh, fuck you, what you think of what I think of this sort of thing,
Yeah.
It's
People
crazy.
have enormous arguments and stuff too.
Could
Yeah.
you just imagine spending that much time, as
Yeah.
opposed to having like a conversation or a chat about it? It's so much more simpler
Talking to other people around you. How do you feel about AI?
in terms of.
I don't know, general
I think there's a good.
developments.
So I think it can be a good tool. It can be used for a lot of help. Like I use it for dumbing down information that for like the job I do.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a lot of technical stuff that goes over my head, and I sort of say, explain it to me as if I was like a 12-year-old or something, which
Yeah.
sounds silly, but it really helps me to understand it, and help me with like providing analogies and gives me a lot of detailed information about it. And I think it can be used as a good research tool as well. But there are parts of it. No, I actually don't know. I don't think I know that much about it other than that. Really,
Yeah.
I think I know it's got a direction that is heading in with the creative industry in terms of films and stuff, in terms of making art and posters and graphics that shows up the Mandalorian news,
Yeah.
and it's quite nice to see that, but it's also quite daunting and realizing actually this could put jobs at risk that are needed or people that could provide a lot of skill too. But
Yeah.
it's also that thing of it was going to come eventually.
Yeah, but does it have to? Can we slow down on the art and stuff? I feel that as soon as we have AI making culture for us, then society is sort of doomed. Or like if it's not people making it anymore.
Does it count?
Yeah, well, not does it count, but it's like why why are we making culture then? Or like why are we making art? Um is it not like for expression or for like identity? Like
Mm.
cultural identity is nothing if it's just made by
Robot
uh
or machine.
well, because AI, it's sort of scary because it doesn't have like long-term memory in a way, and it doesn't create original thought. It's like it parrots what's already out there, like what information you've given it. So it's not like producing new challenging things. It's sort of conglomerating what it's learned, and then just making like spewing out something similar. And I find that, I mean, I hardly ever use it because I'm sort of opposed to the idea that it's taking over. Someone had a take on it that was like, why aren't we making AI that helps you do your taxes or like helps you do all these boring, sort of annoying things that nobody wants to do? Like, why are we making it good at making films and art, which is what people like to do.
Not making it, not take away from the soul sucking stuff or the stuff that's important and needs to be done,
Yeah.
but can be done in minutes as opposed to hours.
Yeah.
That can save you a lot of time.
Yeah. Like a tax AI would be so helpful because it just would do it for you.
But you don't need to do it when you're over here because it comes automatically out of your bill.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in America, you have to do your taxes yourself.
Yeah, their system's weird. I've heard
And then if you do it wrong, they'll arrest you.
what the fuck?
It's like someone did a joke about this too. I forget who it was, but it's like yeah, the government knows what your taxes are, and then but you have to calculate it yourself. Like, will they tell you no? And if you get it wrong, you'll go to jail. Something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. America's quite weird, their system. I've heard that
very weird system.
when you pay VAT, you don't pay it automatically. You pay extra on top of what you're paying for when you go to groceries and stuff. So say
Yeah.
like you're buying like a Pepsi Max or something. It's like $2. It's just an example, but it then becomes like $2.70 or something after when you check out at the till, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like
Yeah,
how they
it's
add
so
that.
stupid.
How they add that manually as opposed to it automatically just being assigned as part of.
The price, because it
Price.
is the price. I've been to stores, like old toy stores, where you can check the price of stuff to like check what the tax is to see what the actual price is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that in Norway or
No, in America. In Norway, it's same as here.
so you automatically apply it?
Yeah. Also, taxes in Norway are automatic as well. You just go sign it, make sure it's all good.
What is the tax system like over there?
Um,
Super high, isn't it?
it's high if you have good income. But yeah, it's generally high.
What's the percentage?
I honestly don't know. I've never been in a tax bracket where I actually have to pay taxes.
Well, you've been a student for the last 5 years, so
I've been a student working part-time in the summer. I've not made enough money to pay proper taxes. But I think, yeah, so I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I would just be making it up, which I can do, but
that's also
I know
not
that your
gonna helpful.
podcast is all about accuracy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No misinformation or disinformation on here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we talk about the dopamine system and addiction. You know, that's
Yeah.
all fact.
I'd like to
proven.
preface, what's it called when you post-face something? Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Because preface is like
Pre-warning?
before. Yeah. What's an afterthought? Forward? Something like no, that's before as well. I don't know. I'd like to say that I don't actually know anything, so take everything I've said with a grain of salt
And more salt.
and a lot of salt.
Tablespoon of salt, maybe.
Yeah. I actually have to eat a lot of salt.
Is that because of your illness?
No. I have low blood pressure.
How do you have that?
Genetic.
Did your parents have it?
Yeah. Or my mom and grandpa and stuff have it. Siblings.
Oh.
It's not low, it's just at the low end of normal. It
So-
means I'm just ever so slightly more prone to like fainting and stuff.
Have you ever fainted?
Yeah, a couple times.
What, here?
Once here, actually, in December, I had to go to the hospital.
Shit.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, my friends and I had just done a really long walk on Dartmoor, like 6 hours, and it was really like grueling, or not grueling, but it's a tough walk. And then we went to a pub afterwards, and we had just had, you know, when you've finished like a big physical activity, is sort of that elation of being done, and you're so tired, and we had some drinks, and then I just stopped drinking water. I just forgot about it. So I was just having some beers, and then we had some wine with dinner, and by the end of dinner, I had like the alcohol had just gone straight to my head, and I was sort of sitting there like, oh my god, I'm so tired, and I just passed out right on the table. And it just took a while for me to wake up. I was sort of going in and out of consciousness for a while, but my blood pressure was so low that I wasn't properly waking up until like, I think I was out for like 10 minutes, sort of on and off,
Whoa.
and then the ambulance came. But then I felt fine as soon as I like woke up properly. And they were like, we're going to take you to the hospital because your blood pressure is not going up as fast as we want it to. And they put like an IV drip in my arm and stuff. It was quite an ordeal. And they took me to the hospital in Plymouth, which was rough. This was at like 9 p.m. And then I get there, and I feel completely fine at this point. And they're like, okay, just go sit in the waiting room. Doctor will check on you, and you can go home. And that happened at 7 a.m. So I was at the hospital for 10 hours, sitting in the waiting room with the IV drip in my arm, sort of just like dying. Like I was so miserable. And my phone was out of battery. I was just sitting there listening to this like repeat news cycle, like night news. It was so rough, and I was the last person they checked. Everyone went through, and my doctor's visit was 10 minutes. She just sort of checked on me, checked I didn't have any injuries or anything like that, and let me go home. So 10 hours for 10 minutes, like the waiting time was just insane
That
to
is-
get the train home, and I was fine. And I went to the doctor in Norway, and he was like, "Yeah, your blood pressure's a bit low."
Is your medical services in Norway really efficient?
Yeah, I got home in December, booked an appointment in January, and I just went in. You don't even need a particular reason. In the UK, my girlfriend's told me like to get a doctor's appointment is difficult in the first place because they like call you to see if you need to come into the doctor. Whereas in Norway, I have an app I can just book an appointment.
And you just go in whenever.
Yeah.
What's the app called?
Health Norway.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty to the point.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. But first time I fainted, I'd also been out with my brothers, and I'd gone to sleep at my brother's house on his couch at like 2 or something, and then my other brother woke me up at like 4, and said we're gonna go home now. So I was like in the middle of my sleep cycle, like really blood pressure low, and I was sort of like, okay, fine. We get in the elevator, and I sort of sit down because I'm so fatigued, and then I stand up and just go straight down into the ground.
What, like full faint?
Yeah, fell straight. I broke my collarbone and stuff.
Holy shit.
Glasses broke in my face. I have a scar here because they sort of jammed right in. That was a bit rough.
When was this?
It was like 2020. It was during COVID.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What was COVID like in Norway, actually?
It was pretty chill.
No lockdowns or anything? Cool.
Yeah, definitely lockdowns. But it was it was nice for me because it was an excuse to get out of uni at engineering that I didn't like. And then the summer you couldn't really do anything. But it was summer. We just went to parks and stuff. And once the sort of initial sort of fears of grandparents and stuff wore off, I guess I couldn't see them for a while, which was a bit rough. But it wasn't all that strict. And then my friend and I moved up to Trondheim. Excuse me. And the two of us just lived there. The gym was open there too, so it was very sort of normal. We just couldn't go out or like go to bars or restaurants or anything. But that was nice.
Yeah, that is quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really good COVID though. A lot of people had it way worse.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm similar to you. I got quite lucky because I was just working.
Yeah.
But the job I was working was really, like, you get to speak to people a lot. Like, even though you're wearing face masks and stuff, it's really least of your concern compared to so many people that have such unfortunate circumstances with COVID. Like, they're locked by themselves.
Yeah.
Or they can't
If
see
you live alone,
family.
you can't see any friends or family. That sounds horrible.
It does sound very isolating and very depressing.
Yeah. And that like loneliness, people get so depressed from it.
Well, people unfortunately take their lives because of it, don't they?
Yeah, lots of people do.
So
It's very unfortunate.
yeah, it is. It really is. And I feel like maybe you'll experience it, but when you finish uni, you might get a feeling, I guess of loneliness as well, because everyone's gone in a way that they've all left. Like, my friends left the same year that I graduated, or the friends even the year before
Yeah.
that left, and I still miss them quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Maybe have you experienced that?
Oh, for sure. First year I started here, I knew so many people from high school. Is that our time's up?
It is our time.
Well, I'll just wrap up what. Yeah, I knew lots of people, and then every year I've been here, people have graduated and left. But particularly this year, because everyone I knew from my course and housemates and stuff all graduated. So I sort of had to meet new people this year. But that's been nice too.
Yeah, no, it's quite nice to meet new people,
Yeah, got into comedy society and stuff and met lots of nice people there.
and I guess it's also knowing that the reason that you miss people is because you've had a good time together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a good sign in a way.
It is nice, and I've stayed in touch with majority of them.
Because some of them were actually from Norway as well, weren't they? Like,
Yeah.
what was his name? Sebastian.
Yeah, I actually saw him the other day.
Oh,
Came
shit.
to visit, yeah. He was doing like a talk here or something. Because
Really?
his paper is being published, one of his things he did here.
Very impressive. What
Yeah.
was he doing? Is he a business guy?
Engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah. So I think he started a company and everything here. He's like a crazy go-getter. Yeah.
Sounds good. Good on him.
Yeah, no, good for him. Yeah. How do we usually wrap these up?
So we normally wrap them up by you talking about if you have any socials that you want people to follow you on.
Instagram, George_Wardwell, I think. You can follow me on that.
Don't look at me, I don't know.
George Wardwell on most things. You can find me. Instagram is the main one. I don't really use that many social medias.
What about OnlyFans?
Yeah, that's also George Wardwell.
Reacts to underscore.
Big cock Wardwell. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a lie, but they subscribe first, so
Yeah,
they
so
only find
it's-
out later. You've
Ju-
already spent the money, you know.
Jokes on them. Jokes on them. You're rich.
Yeah.
They're not.
I wish I had a big penis, but
Well, thank you, George. That's a really nice thing to tell me.
it just doesn't happen for some people. It's okay.
No, it is unfortunate. Actually, before we wrap up, did you want to do your here,
Oh yeah.
here,
Do you want to do that?
see with your eyes or whatever?
Yeah,
See
yeah,
with your
yeah.
ears. Do you want me to turn off the cameras?
Yeah. Or you can just cut the feed maybe.
Yeah, I could do that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you want me to do?
So you're the co-host. So I will just a bit of improv maybe if you can, if you're comfortable with that.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of See With Your Ears. I'm joined here today with my co-host, Tom Swanser. How you doing, Tom?
I'm very good, George. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Okay, so without further ado, I think we'll bring on our first guest, a mime, Oliver. Tell us a bit about your life, Oliver. Okay, he's a mime, so I think that means he's mute. He's gesturing something. Okay, it seems like he's stuck in some sort of box. Yeah, and there's something above him as well. Okay, now he's leaning. It looks like he's leaning on the air. He's leaning on something. And, okay, now he's trying to open a door.
But I think the door might be a bit too small for him to try and get through. Can you see?
Yeah.
I think it looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, he's hunching down a bit, yeah. And,
I think he needs to pull up his trousers as well because I can see his arse crack. It's not that great looking.
yeah, weird mime pulling down his pants.
No, pull him back up because I don't want to see his arse.
Yeah, and that's enough for Oliver. Tune in next week where we have a juggler who supposedly can juggle 6 balls at the same time.
Yeah, putting you to shame there.
Yeah, and that's it.
And that's it.
The whole bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
That
Thank you for
was-
that.
So I'll cut the feed for that part if I remember to. If
Yeah.
not, it's just going to be us just looking at the
Well,
TV.
'cause we're looking over there anyway, so they can't see.
The mime that we're looking at, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be funny to do like a magician as well.
Magician.
Yeah. Well, like a magician, it's like, is this your card? And I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. That is my card. And it's like, oh, he's doing some card flourishes. It's really impressive stuff. He
Yeah.
just pulled a flower out of his, whatever,
His arse crack.
his ass. Yeah.
Were you surprised with the mime changing its direction to
That he's
needing
pulling
to-
down his pants. I was not expecting that at all. No.
Yeah, that just came to me. I was like, I got to say that.
Yeah, the
So-
door thing was good though.
It was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That was good fun.
Yeah.
Right, George, I'm going to say thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
for joining me on this.
You as well.
I'll-
Sleep well. I know you're going to bed as soon as this is over.
Yeah, do you mind tucking me in?
No, I don't mind at all. I'm not
Okay,
busy.
well, I can also say that this has probably been the weirdest episode.
Oh, you
but
think so?
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
glad to hear that actually.
Without a doubt, you get a claim for weirdest weirdo on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that's
think.
good. That's good.
But no, thank you for joining me and giving me a good laugh. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
that's
lie,
no
I've not
problem.
actually. You know, like when you feel like you think a lot of what you got to say.
Yeah,
I don't think I've really thought. I've just sort of just said what's come to mind.
that's
It's
good. That's a
quite
compliment.
funny. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that that interaction. You can just bounce off each other, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like I was saying to you earlier, like a good podcast is one where it's not one person always asking the questions. It's like a conversation, bouncing back and forth, and it doesn't seem like an interview. It seems more
Yeah.
like an actual
yeah. Just
two people talk, two friends talk,
chat. Just talking with.
talking with. Indeed,
Yeah. Do you have like sign off music and stuff?
you can sing if you want to.
First I was afraid, I was petrified. That's all you're gonna get.
That's okay. No, what I'll do
That's
is
I will survive.
what I will do is I will actually cut in your voice crack from earlier as the outro music.
Please don't do that. You don't need to humiliate me more.
So I'm gonna probably go to a restaurant later.
Gonna go to West One on the way home.
I think you've broken me.
Yeah. I can't believe the other episodes aren't weird. What do you guys talk about then?
We're just talking
Normal
about,
stuff?
yeah, normal stuff.
Yeah.
You know, not about OnlyFans or
Yeah.
West Once or voice
West
crack.
Once.
They don't have massive voice cracks.
Thanks. Yeah. That's good. Though. I
or
want to
mimes.
bring some weirdness into this.
I'll have you back on again as well because we need to do it longer. I think
Yeah,
maybe do it on the
so-
weekend or something,
Yeah.
so we've got more time to do it when I'm not tired and hanging out my arse ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
You know. So
No, that'd be fun. I'm definitely down to do it again.
please, I would love to have you on, Germany.
Nice. And we'll talk about that movie too.
Moving that, which one, the original one or the next one? That we're gonna.
No, the one you're gonna make.
Or we could write together.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So just.
Right.
Did you ever whisper into the mic? We can do like ASMR.
Yeah. Oh, George, I want to go now.